Mic check. It's the Y2K collector, and GameStop has brought back their four under 10 for 20 once again. So if you go into GameStop, any games that you find for $9.99 or less, you can combine them and GameStop will only charge you $20. So whenever I see promotions like that, that's usually the time that I try to clean up on some of the lower end games, because that's the best way to just get the best bang for buck. So I'm going to show you what I was able to take advantage of today. So at the first GameStop that I went to, they had this limited edition copy of Metal Gear Solid 4, which I guess comes with the game, the Metal Gear Solid game, but it also comes with like this Blu-ray. So it does include the game that you see here. I think everyone's familiar with Metal Gear Solid 4, but then this Blu-ray is something that I had never really seen before. So this is really cool. It's the Metal Gear Solid Guns of the Patriots Tactical Espionage Action. So this is actually really cool, and I definitely plan on checking that out just to see what it's about. I haven't been the biggest Metal Gear Solid fan, but they did have that there, so I was glad to pick that up. Then I picked up a copy of Dragon Ball Xenoverse on the Xbox One. They had this one for $9.99, the Day 1 edition, so snag that. Not too bad. They also had this. So this is actually a pretty cool 2D sprite-based game. I actually had this on the Switch a long time ago. I had it before I sold all my Switch games. And Children of Morta is kind of like a Zelda clone. It plays like Zelda, top-down action RPG. Pretty cool game, if my memory serves me correctly. So this is one that I got on the Xbox One as well. Next one they had here for $9.99, Super Mario 3D World for the Wii U. I don't have a ton of Wii U games, and this is one that I didn't have in my collection, so this will go in the collection. All of these are complete in box, so, and in pretty good condition as well, so I'm glad to be able to add that one to the collection. Then of course, you know, I snagged up some 360 games. They had Star Wars The Force Unleashed Part 2. The cool thing about this one is that it had like literally everything in it, including these like trading cards, which I don't remember ever seeing. Not trading cards, but it had like this Hazen unlock code or whatever the case may be. I hadn't seen this in any other copies that I saw before, so that's kind of what gave me the extra motivation to pick up this copy. Really clean on the 360. Then they also had a copy of Star Trek. I had never seen Star Trek on the 360 like at a GameStop, so because of the deal, went ahead and snagged this one up as well. I am a huge fan of Monopoly. I actually have had Monopoly on my phone, and I would constantly play Monopoly on my cell phone all the time. I'm a big fan of the game, and it was cool to be able to get it on the 360. This case was destroyed, but the game and manual are in there, and they're in pretty good condition, so I'll probably just wind up doing a case swap on this one. But Monopoly is a lot of fun, really fun game. So I've added that one. Then they had this game here, Sacred 2 Fallen Angel. So snag that up. Another four, and all of these games came out to $4.75 a piece, so not bad. Then they had Naruto Shippuden Storm 2. Picked this one up, $4.75, complete as well, pretty good condition. They had this copy of Rayman Origins. This game is on every platform known to man. But I figured I'd just get it on the 360. Really kind of just picked this one up to complete the promotion and just add another game to get the deal. But for $4.75, I'm not mad at it. It's complete, in great condition. These were two games that I had in my collection before, and I sold them, so I'm glad to get them back in better shape than I had them before. And this is Prototype for the 360, a very common game, as well as Prototype 2 on the 360. Again, two common games, but really good graphics, awesome gameplay, really nice games. Added those. Then picked up Ghostbusters, the video game. So this was another really cool pickup. Was glad to find this here at GameStop. This one is also complete. Another copy of Bayonetta. So I've had Bayonetta on the Wii U. I've also had it on the PS3, and now I have it on the 360. So went ahead and added that. It is complete in box, so got that one. Then GameStop, in addition to having all of these cool games, they also had some really cool PS2 games. I keep running into PlayStation 2 games at GameStop, and here goes the first one. So they did have this copy of San Andreas for $9.99. So I went ahead and added that. Wound up coming out to $4.75. So wasn't too mad at that. Added that. They also had this copy of Spyro, greatest hits version of Enter the Dragonfly. So added this one to the collection as well. Not mad at that on the PS2. This is a game that I'm so stoked to get back. Now, I didn't get this on any kind of sale or deal, but Rogue Galaxy, I'd been eyeballing this online. I'd been trying to find a decent copy for really cheap online. And this is a cheap game. You could probably find this for like 10 bucks online. But then when you add in the shipping and everything, it winds up coming out to like closer to 17, 18 bucks. So being able to snag this for around 12 bucks was definitely a great pickup. It is complete. I don't know what it is with GameStop and getting these complete games, but definitely cool to find. And then last but not least, the game that you've already seen, they did have this complete in-box copy of Tales of the Abyss on the PS2. So, I mean, just really cool stuff. Was glad to be able to find it. Not mad at all to bring this one back into the collection. So a really, really solid stack of games. All of these games ran me about 115 bucks. So, I mean, when you just kind of just look at everything that you got here for 115 bucks, I am not mad at all. A lot of these games were games that I had in the past that I just wound up selling and, you know, offloading. But I've spoken before about how kind of upset I was at myself for selling all my retro stuff. So it's good to be able to get a lot of the retro stuff back in the collection. And again, this limited edition copy of Metal Gear Solid 4, I never even knew that this existed. So to have this added back, not added back, but to have this one added into the collection is really cool. Just being able to have, you know, like a Metal Gear Solid Blu-ray combo, I thought was really sick. So this is a really sick combo to be able to have that. So glad I found that. And then what's even more interesting is that while I was at GameStop, they actually wound up having a box filled with all of these games that someone had traded in that they didn't want anymore. And so it was a complete combination of games, and I'm gonna show you all the games that I kept and all the games that I'm actually gonna wind up selling and you either using for like case swaps or like cartridge swaps. So I'll dive right into those. So first they had ATV Off-Road Fury 2. So this is one I'm keeping, and I'm actually gonna be using this for a PS2 case swap. So got that. They also had some Game Boy Advance games, including Blades of Thunder. They had Brothers in Arms for the DS, Matt Hoffman Pro BMX. I have always been into like kind of like the skateboarding and extreme like bicycle sports games. Those are fun for me. And they also had Kong on the Game Boy Advance. So those are ones that I'm going to be keeping. And these are all the free games. They also had Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on the Sega Genesis. They gave that away for free. Eternal Champions, they gave this one away for free as well. And the reasoning that they said was because these games, they weren't able to scan them into their system, which I don't know how or why, because I'm pretty sure I've seen Eternal Champions on the website, but that's whatever. I'm not complaining. I think some of these games were just too cheap and they didn't want to take them. But they did have a stack of extremely nostalgic Dreamcast sports games, and I'll show those to you as well. The first one they had was NFL 2K. Who remembers NFL 2K, man, with Randy Moss? Classic. NBA 2K1 with Allen Iverson. Dog, I used to play this all the time when I was thinking like just getting into high school. I used to play this game all the time. Classic. Um, NHL 98, I'm gonna use that for a case swap. Same thing with NHL 97. I have some cracked like PS1 cases that I'm definitely gonna be using because it's always good to have like original PlayStation cases. They just feel different from like the aftermarket ones. So these will be case swaps. NHL Rock the Rink. I may just keep this one because this one looks interesting. World Series Baseball 2K. I think I'm gonna keep this one as well because I have been a fan of baseball in the past. Maybe just for nostalgic reasons, I might wind up selling it. They had NHL 2K. This is gonna be a case swap. My Street Fighter Alpha Third Strike case actually cracked, so I'm gonna do a case swap with this one. NHL 99 will be a case swap. World Series 2K1 will probably sold, and then NFL 2K1, I think I'm gonna keep that one because that's a classic. So they had a bunch of just like really cool, like nostalgic sports games that they were getting rid of. And I happily took those off of their hands because I'm a huge sports game fan for this era of sports games. And then I still had an entire box of games that I'm gonna be getting rid of. A bunch of PS2 sports games that I'm not gonna be keeping in the collection. I'm gonna get rid of those. And then we had some Super Nintendo games, sports games, all hockey stuff. I'm gonna be using the back of these for case swaps. So I'm really not mad at, everything that I was able to snag today. Again, all this stuff for $115. And I even left out 4 games that I got during the buy two get one. They had another 4 games that I picked up here. I totally forgot to mention these, which are Street Fighter 4 on the PS 3. That was about $7. Well, $4.75 with the promo. Tribes of Midgard, Nino Kuni, and then Batman Arkham. So a huge haul today. Some really good stuff at GameStop. I'll have more of the pickup footage to actually show you, where, just me running to them in the stores, but just really shocked at how much stuff they had there. If you don't know, the 4 under 10 for 20 is back. My recommendation, try to see what you can find at your local GameStop. It's the Y2K Collector. Take it easy.